It's Jay. Can you everybody hear me? All right. Got a couple of minutes here. So I'm just setting up my board. Does anybody have any questions or anything to add to last class? I know, Amy, that was awesome how you did that. You did the step-by-step. I thought that was really good. That made me feel good that the notes were actually working. So, just let me know if it, if you need anything or if anything needs to be explained or anything.
You did a great job explaining it. I thought that was brilliant. And I think I'm like the hard test subject because I'm older and I wasn't raised with the language. So if you get to me, you got it down, girl.
All right, Mado. Yeah, I wasn't raised in the language either. And you can hear on my pronunciations, they're a little choppy, but I've noticed I'm starting to get better. So it's like a journey with you guys and me. We're all just going forward. So that's exciting. It's not only you guys learning, but it's me as well. And some of the things that I teach, and sometimes I talk to the first speakers, and they've heard it all their lives, so it's different for them because they're like, what are all these steps and everything? And I'm like, this is how some of us have to learn. But all right, let me just grab my notes here, and I'll be right back here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and review a couple of things. We're going to start from first person. We're going to go to second person, and we're going to finally go to the third person. And we're using the same notes. So if you have your notes printed out, just get them out for the steps. See if I can find them. So grab your notes, your simple sentence, present tense steps. Just grab those because we'll go through it. The good thing is it's one set of rules for this whole module. So it shows you for each thing. The only thing that really changes is the add the person marker. Because first person is I, second person is it's, and the third person is that little symbol. I'll show you on my examples today. The symbol is there. And the reason why I put that symbol is because it's a placeholder. For those of us who are learning, it's a placeholder to know that there's nothing definite there. It's just, this means third person means she, he, they, or it. And then I will show you at the end where I don't have the placeholder. So you can just go through the steps thinking, I've got to go through this step. I got to go through that step. And then at the end, you've got your final word, your final sentence. And I'll show you that I don't add that so we can start weaning ourselves off of the placeholder. Like I said, some of us need the training wheels, and this is just one part of the training wheel. So we can just take them training wheels off. And then the funny thing is when I took this in college, I needed those training wheels for the whole semester. Now that I'm teaching it again, it's starting to click. So I'm starting to not need the training wheels as much. So the more you practice it and the more you study it and the more you look at it, you will notice that, oh, okay, I don't need this placeholder. But right now, like I said, I'll show you on my examples that I do have the placeholder. And this is just only when you're conjugating for yourself and you're going by the steps that you're going to need a placeholder. And then when you get proficient enough, you just drop the placeholder and just, I think this is awesome when they can just do it in their head. I'm getting there, but not quite yet. All right, let me go ahead and see if I can share the screen. All right, let's see. Let me just read over this. Let me see if I can, is that sharing? No, okay. Yeah. All right. So I got my little cheat computer over here so I know that I'm sharing. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna read this. You guys have your paper. We're just gonna read it to make sure that we remember the rules. There's a lot to cover today, so I'm not gonna sing our song at the beginning. We can sing it at the end if we have time. But I want to make sure I save a little time for questions. Because I know that sometimes, you know, you might have a question and I don't want to run out of time. Let me make sure I'm okay. All right. Okay, so the simple sentence present tense. And for those of you who are online who don't have a copy of this is in our Google Drives. I can share the link if anybody needs it, but you can just go to the Google Drive and you can see all of these handouts and all these presentations that we're going over this week and the previous week. So if you guys need to go back and restudy anything, it's there. All right, the simple sentence present tense. We're conjugating in the present tense. What's happening now? That's what module 1 is what's happening now. We're going from I, you, and then the third person in this module. So present tense steps are drop the ETV, and I will show you guys, you know, how I do each step, but right now we're just going through the rules. The second one is you L-grade the verb stem, you lengthen the final vowel of the verb stem. If the final vowel is a V, change it to an A unless it's followed by MK, NK, or T. If it is, leave it a V. The rest of the final vowels get a long mark over it. So if you see our conjugation, these are following the rules. That's why you see the long mark over some of the vowels. And then step 3, add the person marker, I, it's, or nothing. Right now, we are going to cover I, it's, and nothing. Because we are reviewing what we've done the previous weeks. And number 4, add the declarative ending S or ES. Present tense conjugation, again, drop the ETV to get the verb stem, L-grade the verb stem, lengthen the final vowel of the verb stem. If the final vowel is a V, change it to an A unless it's followed by MK, NK, or T. If it is, leave the V. The rest of the vowels get a long mark over it. L-grade means lengthen the final vowel of the verb stem. L-grade shows the tense. MVM through L grading turns to MAM. And we have some examples that we've gone over on how some of these have already worked. But what I've shared with you guys are the Mvskoke infinitive verbs. I've only shown you guys 8. There are a lot more. So if we don't cover some of these rules, know that they are out there. I'm trying to give you guys bite-sized little chunks so I don't overwhelm you, because I know this can be overwhelming. All right. And then step 3, add the person marker, I, it's, or nothing. The person marker shows who's doing the action. I is the first person marker, means I. It's is the second person marker, meaning you. Third person does not have a marker, so it's represented by the symbol there. I put that symbol there, like I said, this is just for my notes to share with you guys. And sometimes you can put the open and close parentheses as well. And I'll show you that. Sometimes it helps people to do it different ways. So that's just a different way. So the third person has no marker. That's why I put the symbol there. The third person is translated literally to English would be he, she, well, she, he, they, and it. You can mark in it in the singular. So you're talking about they, okay. Well, they're, you know, who made this? Well, they, you know, they're over there. So it's just still a singular person because we are still doing singular. All right, number 4, add the declarative ending S or ES. The declarative endings are also periods and they mean am, are, and is. All right, so now that we've gone over that, start looking at step by step. Like I said, we're just reviewing the previous classes so we can go a step further. And hombis, or actually it should be hombida. So I'm going from hombida, we are going from hombida to hombis. So right here, and oh, I keep forgetting to change that. It should just be to eat, not to eat O. So just mark the O. Okay, hombida. Drop the ETV to create the verb stem. This is going along with our notes, guys. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. You see HOMP is the verb stem because we dropped the ETV. And the second one is L-grade the verb stem. And so that's what we're doing with the O right there. It says lengthen the final vowel of the verb stem. If the final vowel is a V, change it to an A unless it's followed by MK, NK, or T. If it is, leave it a V. The rest of the final vowels get a long mark. That's what this is. Why the long mark is on the O. So we've gone through step 2. Now step 3. Add the person marker. We're talking about I. This is the first person that we're showing today. I. So that's why we add the I. And the declarative ending is S or ES. Since there's already a vowel there, we don't put another vowel by a vowel. So that's why we chose just the S. Otherwise, it would create something called a diphthong. And we don't do that here. So right here, it's got the verb stem in red. And you've got the person marker here in blue. And the red is the declarative ending. So right now you've gone from hombada to eat to home base. I am eating. Home base. Remember the I has the A sound. A. Home base. Right. And this is the complete translation. Like I said, I'm trying to do it where I break it down more than once. So you guys who need to have the visual, it's step by step. Right here, you see the verb stem. Right here, you see the person marker, the I. And then right here, the green is the declarative ending. So the literal translation, and I like the fact that this is a sentence. Eating, I am. Mvskoke word, home base. Home base. The literal translation is eating, I am. And the English translation is I am eating. So that's how you get to hombada to home base. Does anybody have any questions on that one? Does that make sense? All right. Okay, so we went from the first person marker to, we are going to the second person. I'm trying to see the second person. Well, let me go with this is still first person, but this is the one that I know people bring up a lot because you see how it starts out, ayida, to go. And we're going to use our notes again, ayida, to go. You drop the ETB according to our steps. You get the verb stem. And the final vowel is right here. It's a V, not the Y. I keep forgetting to update this one. But the final vowel is the V instead of the Y. And that's why in here it says you drop the verb stem, you drop the ETB, you get the verb stem. This is the verb stem. You L-grade the verb stem, lengthen the final vowel of the verb stem. If the final vowel is a V, change it to an A. That's where this V right here is changed to an A. Because it's not followed by MK, NK, or T. So that's how you all of a sudden, oh, it's an A. There's the reasoning right there. Okay, and the next step is add the person marker. Like I said, I'm showing you this because this one gets a lot of questions. There's the I for the person marker. Right now we're doing I. At the end, right here is the S, is the declarative ending. Am, are, is also means a period. You got the verb stem in red. You got the person marker, and you got the declarative ending with the end of the period. So you went from ayida to ayes. I am going. So that's the one that a lot of people get confused at because it does start with a V, but there's the reasoning right there on why it changes to A. Ayes. All right. Anybody have any questions on that one? I'm looking for the second person here. All right. Come on. All right, here we go. Here's this week's. Like I said, I'm trying to make sure that we have time to go cover everything. We went through first person, we went through second person. Or no, we didn't went through first, here's second person, like humbada. Using the same notes. The only thing that's going to change is step number 3, to add the person marker. So right now we have humbada to go. We're going to do the same steps. We drop the ETV, which creates the verb stem. So here is the verb stem. You L grade the verb stem, you lengthen the final vowel of the verb stem. If the final vowel is a V, change it to an A unless it's followed by MK, NK, or T. If it is, leave it a V. The rest of the final vowel, get a mark over. And that's where that comes in. That's where the vowel, you know, like I said, it's lengthened the final vowel of the verb stem. Right here, since we're talking about you add the person marker, which was its. Hombitsk. And then the fourth rule is add the declarative marker, meaning am, are, is, and period. So hombitskis. Right here, you've got your verb stem. Right here, you've got your person marker in blue. And right here, you've got your declarative ending. And the ES period means am, are, is, and period. Hombitskis. So we went from hombida, we did our steps, and we got a whole sentence hombitskis. All right. So, okay, just FYI, Google Drive is always cranky, and today is Monday. He's not doing any better today. All right, so showing you that second person marker. These are the simple sentences that we are able to make with our vocabulary words and when we conjugate our infinitives. And like I said, I've only shown you 8 infinitives. There are more out there, but we're just trying to show simple sentences just to see, you know, so you can get the order and the sounds. And, you know, we're just started learning some vocabulary. Some of us, other people know a little bit more, but we're just working with what we've got now. So, Mvskoke chugo, ayetskis. You are going to church. So church is Mvskoke chugo, and that's church. And then ayetskis is you are going to. So just to let you know, my mouth is trying to switch from English to Mvskoke, so I might have a little issues and I might have to back up, but it's one of those mornings. Daklegi ayetskis. You are making bread. Wagabizi, daklegi ayetskis. You are making cheese. Butko afki ayetskis. You are making grape dumplings. Hilokwa nisitskis. You are buying gum. It's like nizida, nisitskis. Hilokwa nisitskis. You are buying gum. Binwa nisitskis. You are buying turkey. Aji nisitskis. You are buying corn. Here are more simple sentences, and if you notice, they're all of our, that's why I got a lot of our foods, because I knew we were going to be eating and drinking in module 1. Okay. Taklek, sakmolki, hombitskis. You are eating fry bread. Tadahaga Mvskis. You were eating blue bread. Somebody had a question about, well, where's the word blue for blue bread? And I had to tell them, Tadahaga is the name of the blue bread. Tadahaga. So that's why it doesn't have the word blue in there. Because if you were talking about something that didn't have a name, it would be probably Daklegi Polati. But since Tadahaga is blue bread, we have a name for that. That's why there you don't see the word blue in that. Okay, the next one, a busky is skitskis. Like I said, and even I've got to break it down sometimes. Is skitskis. So you know, like I said, sometimes you go forward and then you go back to go forward again. And that there's no problem with that. The only problem is if you stop learning or you stop trying. But we need to keep going forward. If you need to go back to go forward, do it. Just don't stop trying. Waga busy. Iskitskis. Sorry. Like I said, my mouth was having little issues this morning. You were drinking milk. Tolozi. Hijitskis. You are seeing chicken. Ido. Hijitskis. You are seeing a tree. Oklegida. Hijitskis. You are seeing a chair. Mvskoke Opanaga Kithitskis. You are learning Mvskoke. Woo! Learning Mvskoke and Mvskoke Opanaga Kithitskis. Mache, good job. We got through those. Does anybody have any questions on these sentences? These are also on the Google Drive if you want to look at them or download them and print them out. But you can see, basically, it is a one of our vocabulary words connected to an infinitive verb. That's an easy sentence. So all of these are just our vocabulary word with a conjugated infinitive verb. Simple sentences that we were doing, you were doing, because this is second person. All right, does anybody have any questions?
I do, Mahaya.
Okay.
With great courage.
Okay.
I did the homework and I wanted to know if I did it right.
Okay, if you could go ahead
But
and share.
Okay, and I may have made it too complicated for myself because that's kind of how I do it. But what I'm trying to say is you eat that big red strawberry. Because we just passed strawberry season this year. So kipalat ma charit tlakech o biskesh.
Okay. Say it again.
Kipalat ma chari tlakech tlakit hobitskesh.
I think you've got it right. I'm visual and can you type
Me
it
too.
in the chat? Can you type it in the chat?
Yes. And I wasn't sure about word order. And I get confused sometimes about, I know we're supposed to put a letter with the subject of sentence, but I always forget which letter that is. So I could have messed. Thank you, Mado.
I know that's a little bit further than I've gotten in the class. So it sounds right, but like I said, we're doing the simple sentences. I know we can add on to it right now, but I know Mvhayv Barnett is talking about ma and ya and all of those. Let's see. And I know yet is also on part of that. Right.
Spelled it wrong. I'm sorry. I have it written right on the paper. I just didn't.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me ask Mvhayv Barnett. I'm not sure of these word orders right now. Right. Subject, object, verb, order for a simple sentence. Okay, yeah. Subject, object, verb, sometimes it's object, verb. I have to look at it and ask Mvhayv Barnett. I remember doing these kind of sentences, but like I said, I'm starting out with the simple sentences and I'm kind of rusty on the longer sentences since I haven't done them. So, but I remember the T at the end of Kibala. I know Jody, Thocket, Bitskis. I'll ask Mvhayv Barnett and
No.
so you are eating. So you are eating a large red strawberry. So Lucinda says, are you saying you're eating a large red strawberry?
Yes.
Okay.
Or trying to say that.
Right, all right. Yeah, and like I said, I remember the structures. I remember the T at the end of the because there's an M or there's a T at the end of one of the words to define it. But we're not there yet. And right now I'm just lost in so many rules. But I will. But thank you for putting that out there.
Me too, by the way. So you're not alone. We'll be lost together and eat strawberries. How's that?
Advanced structures too. Yeah, that's a little bit more advanced than we're learning right now. I'm still learning the structures and I haven't done it in a while. But like I said, I'll ask Mvhayv Barnett. I'm just trying to show you the very beginning of the sentences. And we did have Jody as one of our words. So that, that's great for putting that in there. Without the mutt, it would be strawberry big red you are eating. Yeah. Amy is the AP Creek. All right. But like I said, I remember the rules, but I haven't used them in a while since I'm making up all of module 1 and then I'm going to module 2. So I haven't personally been able to put it all together. I do watch Mvhayv Barnett's class and there's so much to learn. But no, Amy, thank you for putting it out there. Right now, like I said, we're just using our vocabulary words with the infinitives, just to show what is exciting is at the beginning of this module, we started with the sounds, t, I, e. From the sounds, we went to the 2-letter syllables, cha, chi, che, cho, chu. And from there, we went to the 3-letter syllables, sa, si, si, say, that kind of thing. And now we've learned some vocabularies and we are able to make very, very simple sentences. And so this is just how we're starting. So it's exciting to think about in 5 weeks, we've traveled from the very beginning to right now. So, give yourself a hand. Awesome. Because you're making sentences. And the good thing is, you know what you're saying. You know what each part of everything is. All right, let's see. Second person. So now that we've seen second person, and we've seen the sentences for second person, we are going to the third person. All right, let's get our notes out, third person. And see, okay, humbada, to go. Wait. Humbada is to eat. Sorry, I must have mistyped it. Humbada, to eat. So just put that out and put eat. Humbada, to eat. Drop the ETB and creates the verb stem. So you've got HOMP, the verb stem. The second one is you L-grade the verb stem. You lengthen the final vowel of the verb stem. If the final vowel is a V, change it to an A, unless it's followed by MK, NK, T. If it is, leave it a V. The rest of the final vowels get a long mark over it. That's where you get the long mark over the O. And the third one is you add the person marker. Since there's no person marker, like I said, we're trying to learn in steps. That's why I added that symbol. Or you can put, and I've seen some people put open parentheses and close parentheses, just to know that that's a marker. Because there's nothing there. There's no marker for third person. Oh, good. Somebody says it's starting to click. Woo! Good job. I know how that moment is. You're like, oh my gosh, this is starting to make sense. And like I said, the reason I put it this way is this is how I learned, not being a first speaker or hearing anybody speak. And the way that a lot of the public schools teaches things are in steps. And that's how I've had to learn it, is it's in steps. And the way I tell everybody is, it's almost like I have to do the long math to get the answer. And then you can, once you get the long math and you get the steps, then you can just go from the very top to the very bottom. And when you start being able to do that, that's exciting because you just learned all of the steps in between and you no longer have to go step by step by step. You just go from home beta to home base, home beta, you know, to whatever you're trying to, you know, whatever person marker you're trying to conjugate to. All right. So right here, the third, you know, the third person marker is nothing. So the fourth one is add the declarative ending S or ES. And since this is just a marker, it's not a character. The last one, the last letter is a P. So you add the ES. So right here, like I said, I just put it in as a marker. You've got your verb stem right here in the red. You got the person marker, which is no person. There's no person marker, and that symbol is just a placeholder. And then you've got your ES, you add the declarative ending am, are, is, and it also means period. And so you see at the bottom, I dropped the person marker because we already went through all these steps. So now you've got from home beta to home base. Home base. So with the third person, you simply don't have a marker. Is it implied or assumed? Yes. If you don't see an I, like HOMPIS, or you don't see it HOMPETSK, then you know it's a third person. So that's why right here, you don't see an I because we're not talking about I, and you don't see the second person marker, which is it's. And so you know it's third person. It could be he, she, it, they. It could be any one of those since we are right now just doing singular. Does that make sense? All right. So that's why I didn't put the marker that, oh, goodness gracious, girl. That's why I didn't put the person marker there at the bottom because I wanted to show you that in the steps, it was only a placeholder. And then once you get going really fast and really good on your bike, then you can take the training wheels off. And the good thing is now I'm starting to able to, in my personal life, I can start to do it, which in classroom, it was totally scary because I would have to mark every single thing out to show I did the step by step. So here's also the third person marker for Itskada. Itskada, to drink. You drop the ETV and creates the verb stem. There's the verb stem. You go by our rules. The second one is E is the final vowel. So you put a long mark over the E. And remember on E that's when it changes the sound from I to E. And then on the third step, you add the person marker. That's what I wanted to show you is sometimes you can add the circle with a line or you can add the parentheses. Like I said, just for whoever, whatever symbol you like just to add for the placeholder. That's all it is a placeholder. So add the person marker, which is nothing, but we went ahead on this one. I showed you what it looks like for parentheses. You go down to the next one and you add the declarative ending marker, meaning am, are, is, and the S, or you can just add S. It just depends on. See right here, the last letter is a K, so we add ES. If it was a vowel, you would just add S. It also means period at the end of the sentence. So here's the verb stem in red. This is the person marker placeholder that we are using. Is the close, open and close parentheses. Because there's nothing, there's no place to marker, and then the ES, and then the period for the declarative ending. So you go from iskada to iskis. So like I said, I think that's exciting because we went from, you know, iskada to drink, iskis. I am drinking, or she is drinking, he is drinking, it is drinking, they are drinking. You know, you're sitting over there, you walk into a restaurant, you're like, they are drinking. You know, and you see a big old, you know, a big old float or something, they are drinking. You know, you think, oh, I thought it was a pizza bar, they're drinking a big ice cream float, you know, or it, you know, because I didn't have questions about it. You know, the dog runs in and drops his bone and takes off, and you're like, who dropped it off? You know, it. You know, it dropped it off. It dropped off the bone. That's where you would use it, because it's still singular. Because you don't really, you know, want to call a person it. I was just thinking of a dog or a cat, or, you know, an animal or something. But all right, does anybody have any questions on that one? Let's go to the next translation. You see that what the literal words are, the literal meaning is it's drinking. There's nothing here, but like I said, that's our placeholder. He, and I just put he, you could be she, it could be it could be they. So whenever you're writing these, you know, if you're writing something and you know you're talking about a girl, you know, you just say she. If you're writing something and you know you're talking about a guy, it's a he. So that's our placeholder right there. And is, translation, Mvskoke word, itskis. Itskis. Literal translation is drinking. He is drinking. You could also translate it as drinking. She is drinking. It is, and you know, and she is drinking. They are drinking. It is drinking. So that is one of those ones that I know Mvhayv Barnett talks about situational. You got to know what you're talking about, you know, who you're talking to. You're walking around talking to your friend and you're like, oh, he's drinking or she's drinking or it is drinking because you're pointing to the dog or the cat or the bird, you know, something like that. Does that make sense to everybody? Is that starting to catch on? All right. Any questions? I know my way of sharing this is a little different than the other Mvhayvs. Like I said, this is the way that helped me to learn all of this. So I'm trying to translate it to you guys, and there's going to be a lot of repetition because that's how you remember things. All right, so step by step is to see hijada, sorry, hijada. I'm trying to remember the pronunciation. Okay, you get your same sheet out, and you drop the ETV, you get the verb stem, HEC. E is the final vowel, you put the long mark over the E. You add your person marker, but like I said, third person has no marker, so I put, you know, you can put your placeholder in there. You can have this, or you can have the parentheses, just for placeholder because we are doing step by step. All right, here you add the declarative ending marker, which is ES because the last letter is a C. And it also means period. Got your verb stem. You got your person marker, which you know is 0. That's just a placeholder right now that we're doing. And then you have your ES. Declarative ending, am, are, is, also means period. Now it's hijis. Hijis. So you go from hijada to see to hijis. All right, anybody have any questions on this one? Like I said, I conjugated all of this out because repetition is the way I remember learning and remembering. Here again, I said I presented the same, but in different formats. Seeing, they, and like you said, that's the placeholder, are. Translation, hijis. Seeing, they are seeing. And that, like I said, it could also be seeing he is, seeing she is, he is seeing, or she is seeing, or it is seeing. Does that third person, are you guys getting that? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So let's go to the third person sentences. All right, third person simple sentences. These are the same sentences we used for first and second person. I just wanted you guys to see how it looks in third person. Migasapka chugo ayes. I also put in there, that's what I put in there, that there's two different placeholders that people have used and I use. So that's why it's got the slash market. You can use this way or this way if you need a placeholder. Those of you who get it, you don't need a placeholder, don't use one. So all you would do is this one. But when you conjugate it to the final form, the one that's highlighted is how it would be conjugated. She is going to church, or he is going to church, or it is going to church, or they are going to church. Daklegi hayes. Hayes, sorry. Daklegi hayes. He is making bread. Also there is the two ways that I had the placeholders in our notes. This is also to make sure that you remember that you can use either or you can use nothing. Like I said, right now, for some of us who need the little training wheels, we need to make sure that we go every single line so we have a placeholder. And then once you get really proficient at it, you don't need a placeholder, and that's your final conjugation right there. Waga busy daklegi hayes. She is making cheese. Again, our two placeholders and the final version. But go afti hayes. He is making grape dumplings. The two placeholders and then the final version. He loquanices. They, and that's why I put in the parentheses SMG, because they is still singular, they. Because we are only doing singular on this module. Are buying gum. He loquanices. They are buying gum. Benoit nieces. She is buying turkey. Like I said, the placeholders without a placeholder. Aji nieces. He is buying corn. Placeholder. No placeholder. All right. Everybody getting it okay? Did that throw anybody off? The good thing is it's the same rules, just different person. That makes it a little easier. You same rules from the very beginning, from I, you, and then he, she, it, or they. Daklek sakmoski humbes. With your placeholder, without your placeholder. He is eating fry bread. Chedamaga humbes. She is eating blue bread. Placeholder, not placeholder. A busky iskis. They are drinking corn drink. Placeholder, no placeholder. Waga busy iskis. Placeholder, no placeholder. Final version right there. Tolozi, Aegis. She is seeing chicken. Ito, Aegis. He is seeing a tree. Funny story that happened this morning. When I was driving to work, some of your cars have the eco setting. Mine has the little sport setting and the eco setting. And so when I was driving, I was sitting there, I was like, oh, eco. And the first thing I thought of was Ijo. So just little things like that, make you think, oh, my brain is thinking Mvskoke. I was like, Ijo. And then I started getting excited because I'm like, out of nowhere, I thought Mvskoke. Someone is seeing. Okay. She is seeing, yeah. Yeah, someone is seeing, like he is seeing, she is seeing, it is seeing, they are seeing. Yeah. Okay. Oklegida hijis. She is seeing a chair. And like I said, that conjugation could be he, she, it, or they. Mvskoke upanaga kites. They are learning, or yeah, they are learning Mvskoke. And that's still singular. You're still talking about one person. This is the placeholder, and this is the final version. Anybody have any questions on that? I know we went from I to you to third person all in one day, but this is all, a lot of it is all review. The only part that's new is the third person today. Does anybody have any questions on that? Is that making sense? And the fact that we are just, doing one set of rules for these simple sentences, that makes it a lot easier. I know, like I said, module 2, we're going to go to different sentences. And, like I said, this is just one sentence, and I know that there's subject, object, verb, sentence structure, there's object, verb, and it goes further on into that, into those rules. But right now, this is how I'm trying to teach what we've learned this whole module. That's why it's presented this way, because there's a lot of different ways to present sentences. We talk about that all the time with the Mvhayvs. No, it's this way. No, it's that way. But just remember, there's more than one way to say the same thing. And so no, not one way is right. It's just how you learn. And if you say it a different way, they know what you're saying. I was talking to Mvhayv Jordan today, and she was talking about how she asked one of the speakers a question. How do you set a table? What do you say when somebody says go set a table? One speaker said it one way, another speaker said it a different way, and then the third speaker said it even a different way. So I was like, well, it doesn't really matter as long as the table's set. They knew how to set the table, So that, I don't have any problems with people saying it different, as long as I understand and you understand what we're talking about. All right. So since we have time and there's no questions right now, I know I shared this in Mvhayv Barnett's class. This is the Instagram page that the Mvskoke Upanaga has for Instagram. I'm not an Instagram user, so this was all new to me. But I wanted to show you that it is out there. And this is what I've been tasked to do, is I've been tasked to create a word of the day. And these are the ones that I've created. Wait. Oh, now she wants to get angry again. All right, here we go. I don't know. I don't think. Here we go. All right. So that was, I think it was the second word of the day. And these, if you have an Instagram, or even if you don't, I would suggest, maybe just reach out and just do an Instagram for our Mvskoke language. All right, somebody's following it. All right, good job. So these are resources, and it's funny because I'm learning Mvskoke just by having to do these. Yeah, somebody's going to be forced to do Instagram. I know. I was shoved to the front, said do an Instagram. I'm like, what's Instagram? And now, all right. And these are the things that, like I said, there's word of the day. Miss Jordan makes the. So all of these are voiced by our native speakers. So you will learn something just by clicking on it, on the word of the day. I'm having fun with this. And then it's funny because you'll think of the word for small, chutki, and you'll actually hear her voice in your head and you will say it.
I do the same thing. By the way, I'm a very aesthetic, artistic, and musical person. I think this is absolutely exquisite, this work. And I love it, the way you've incorporated the speakers. And I mean, it is really very, very well done. And your love of the people and the language comes through. It's a powerful work. So well done, you.
Oh, Mado, you don't know how that makes us feel when we hear this, because there's days when I come in like on a Monday and Google's not working right, something's happening, and I'm like, dang, I just feel like quitting. I just want to go back to bed. But when you hear that, all of this work, is appreciated in helping somebody, that makes us feel really good. So that, I told them, I was like, I want the speakers to say it because I know how I sound. But when I get to go back and hear them, and I try to use different speakers. I try to use different speakers so you can hear the different ways that they speak. Okay. All right, I'm gonna see what's on chat here. Yeah, for the third person, it's simply assumed he, she, it, or they. Someone is seeing, yeah. But yeah, that's why I thought I'd show the Instagram, because not everybody knows about that. We've also got a Facebook page. We've got a TikTok page, which I don't think has been kept up. I can't get on it. TikTok's kind of iffy. And then Facebook, like I said, Instagram isn't bad. Yeah, there's a folder from past clippings. Yeah, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of resources out there. If you want to learn some things, just go in there and click these.
I did that.
See, that was one of our words. To go, went to go. And I'm having fun with this because I get to make these up. And I'm trying to use images of our native people or native culture. You see the beads, several beads. My daughter beads, so I threw some beads on there, took a picture, and just trying to reach everybody with different words, because I don't want to repeat words that have done previous years or even the ideas. So what I'm getting to is these words of the day. You hear that's Mvhayv Barnett. The words of the day for March lead up to a story. They lead up to a story. So each word that you learn, each word that you're learning leads up to a story at the end. And I've shared it with the Mvhayv Barnett Club. But it is the story of the tobacco story. How the tobacco story was originated. This is one of the versions anyway. Fire. So my question to you guys about all of this Instagram, on the one for Totka, he had fire. He said the English word. I've been having them just say the Mvskoke word because you can read the English word. I wanted you to hear their word in Mvskoke and read the English. That one slipped by, the fire. But I was wondering, you just type it in chat. Would you rather them just to say the Mvskoke word, or would you rather them say the Mvskoke and the English? I figure if you're looking at it and you hear it, you can read English. I wanted you to hear the Mvskoke word from them. Which one? Just type in English, in the chat.
Odor. Oh.
So there's a couple of them that had, the Mvskoke and the English that we put on there. And I think, to me, I'd rather just hear them speaking the Mvskoke word. and then you can read the English word, but just let me know. Just Mvskoke, just the Mvskoke word. Okay, Mado. Like I said, we asked for feedback. Audio Creek, both of it. Yeah. So I like the idea, the concept of you're here, the speakers speaking the Mvskoke word, and you know English. You're gonna have to, not gonna say you're doing homework, but you gotta do your part and read, okay, Dotka, fire, you know. So that was just the concept behind that. Like I said, these words all go towards the tobacco. And you can hear Mvhayv, Stephen, you can hear each speaker's voice, and I like the differences. And if you follow and you see the word of the day, you're gonna learn all of these words. And you don't realize you're learning it.
E.g.
What's key? What's key? Spoiler.
Right, so I'm looking for a news story for April. I haven't started it yet, but I'm trying to do the same concept unless they direct me otherwise. To where at the end you learn the story of the words that you're learning. Instagram. All right, so there's good. So there's all of the Instagram that we have. Like I said, we have a Facebook and we have the YouTube where you guys can review our past recordings of our classes. But I wanted to share that with you, and I forgot to put the logos on there, the little card that she has. I'll put it on there for next class. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me. And if you have anything, you can always call our office or email. And that's all I have for you today. Like I said, we've gone from I, you, to he, she, it, or they. And we've come from our Mvskoke sounds alphabet to 2-letter, 3-letter syllables, to vocabulary words, to conjugating our verbs, to now making simple sentences. So next week is going to be our last week. And we're just going to review over everything. And if you have any questions, the written word is a good thing. We are trying to read the old text too. Okay, Amy, you're gonna be out of class next week. Well, have a safe trip. And like I said, we're just gonna basically review a lot of things and see if anybody has any questions. I wasn't able to, okay, somebody else is popping out of class. Hey, it's gonna be recorded.
Good. Yeah, I don't like to miss. I love you guys' classes. I'm only missing the one day, which is Wednesday of this coming week, but the rest of this week, hopefully I'll be back in time for the next, because I love your teaching. You've done a great job.
Mado. All right, so nobody has any questions. It's almost 1 o'clock. Like I said, just check out Instagram if you don't have an Instagram. Like I did, I had to create an Instagram to do all this stuff to see how it looks. Get a Facebook. They have a lot of videos on Facebook. I wasn't able to share that with you, but some of the things that Mvhayv Barnett is teaching, the different forms of a word, that's on there. There's stories on there. There's prayers on there. There's songs on there. So it's a lot of resources. And what we're doing right now is, Facebook has some good stuff. We are making a website for all of this stuff to be put in one place. So all you would have to do is type in and get on the website, and you would have links. And that's what we're in the process of doing right now, because it is scattered. But we're just thinking about how best to reach you guys, how to make sure that it's out there and in front so you can learn if you're looking to learn. All right, Well, I'm gonna say Hadam Chicha, please. You guys have a good day, and those of you who are traveling, be safe. I know the weather's crazy. All right.
Mado.
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 Popping up.